In order to play video, we'll need to create an iframe as well as a page. This is a lot like what we did when we created a page to display our blog data. So let's take a look. We'll need to make a placeholder for our video player. So let's go into the HTML to where you display the video. Right at the end of that, we're going to create a new page. So that's going to be div. ID is going to be video player. And we'll do a data role of page. Close that out. And I like to close these out and make sure I comment them. So this is our page. So inside here, we're going to have a header. So div data role of header. And this one's going to have some attributes. Data position is going to be fixed. We don't want it to move. And data theme is going to be a. Inside this, we're going to have a link. So this page is going to link back to videos. And we need to make sure we put a £sign right here. And my data transition is going to be fade. My icon is going to be the back button. And my icon position is going to be no text so that it doesn't display the text. And it's going to go backwards. So data direction, reverse. And it's going to say videos. Now, that's really not going to show up because we have this data icon position. So this link right here is not going to show up at all, but we'll put it in there anyways. Then we're going to do a H1 tag, and this one you will see, called videos. Close that out. And let's see, this should be indented this way. And now we can close out the header. And now we're ready for the content. Let me close it out, comment. And now I'll place a div here. And our JavaScript will inject this div with content. The div is going to be my player. And just close out that div. Let's clean up some of the stuff right here. So there we have our complete page. Now this page doesn't have a link from the HTML, but we'll target it with JavaScript. So let's save that. I'm going to open up my underscore folder, JavaScript, get the JavaScript file. And the first thing we need to do is create a link. So I'll need to go down to the list videos function right after this div right here. We're going to be creating a link. So I'll add the output plus equals here. And this link is going to be an anchor tag. And it's going to target the video player page that we created. And we'll add some other attributes here. And we need to add an on-click handler here. And it's going to execute a function called play video, which we'll be creating in just a minute. And this play video function is going to require some parameters. So we are going to need to send it some things. And normally inside of play video function, you would see single quotes like this, but we've already got them here and here. And so we're going to have to create two sets of these and escape these outer ones so that we can pass it something like our ID. And then we'll pass it something else. So again, create 4, escape the outer ones. Then we're going to pass it the title. And then we're going to pass it the description. Now we'll need to close this one out. So we'll close it down here. Okay, so now we need to create the function. Before we do that, we need to take these and uncomment them because it's going to pass those to our function. But they're sitting down there and they need to be up here. Otherwise, it's not going to be able to know what the description or the ID is supposed to be up here. So now we're ready for our new function that we're calling up there. We'll put it after this one. The function is going to be called play video. Play video is going to receive 3 things: an ID, a title, and a description. And in this function, we're going to create an output variable. At first, it's going to have an iframe. So whenever you go to YouTube and you hit the embed button, you're going to get code that looks like what we're going to be typing here. So it's essentially an iframe with some parameters. So we'll need to do that programmatically here. So iframe src equals, and in the src tag, we're going to type in http://www.youtube.com/embed/. single quote here because we want to add something here, and we're going to add the ID. And then after this, we're going to have to pass it some parameters. After this, I want to add a headline tag. And the headline tag, I'll have the title. And then, of course, we'll want to add the description. We'll put that in a paragraph. Since there may be some descriptions that come in with single quotes, and that will cause a problem on this function right here because it would interpret it as a close of a quotation, what we want to do is make sure that we use the JavaScript function called escape, and we'll wrap the description around this escape. And then we'll come down here and we'll say unescape. And so the last thing we need to do here is make sure that we target our player here and send the output that we've created here. And if we've done everything perfectly, then I'll need to refresh this. Click on the video section. There's all our videos with our links. Let's go ahead and click on the link, and we should see our video come up here. Now you can see that they're auto playing. This is not going to happen on a mobile device. It's only going to happen on the desktop. So when you test it on a mobile device, you'll see that you'll have to hit the play button and it'll play in a separate window. So let's test out the back button here, and we're back to our list. That looks pretty good. Now all we have to do is add a little bit of CSS. These links aren't looking that great, so I'm going to go open up my CSS file. And right down here, I'm going to add some styles. This is setting some of the styles for the player itself. So this is not this page. We're not going to be able to preview it because if we click on this, it'll go to that page. And as soon as we start messing around with some of the CSS, it would reset it. So finally, just the video player H3 and the my player paragraph. It's going to have a little bit of padding. So we're just kind of spacing things out, especially in the video player. Before we didn't have a video list. We didn't have this anchor tag. So now that we have it, we need to target that and make sure that we have no underlines and then the color to whatever we want. And then these are all for the video player itself so that it essentially places the iframe crossing the entire width of the content. So let's save that and come over here and click one of these. And now our player goes the entire width right here, which is a lot nicer. Before, if you noticed, there was kind of a small player in this space. And we just added some spacing. Since we took the spacing out of this sides, then we had to add it back into the paragraph as well as the H3. Using other APIs to keep our content up to date is a great technique. When you include content from a YouTube channel, you can use all the power that Google gives us. Like, for example, the ability to upload video through our phones means we can be at an event, take a quick video of an interview, and immediately push it to YouTube. And that push to YouTube will also show up in our mobile application.